Then we moved to 8 p.m. Eastern. And at the beginning of the year, who would have thought the Los Angeles Kings at Minnesota Wild would be such an exciting game? Kings 9-6-3, 6-4-0 on the road. Minnesota Wild are 10-6-0, 3-3-0 at home. We're at the Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. We have a total at 5.5 juice to the under. It opened at minus 125 to the under. It's now at minus 120, so money coming in on the over, and I can understand that with the way the Minnesota Wild are playing, but I won't be making a move on the total here. I do have some concern with the excellent play of Johnny Quick and the excellent offense shown by the Wild. It's a tricky kind of situation here. The Wild open up at minus 170. That's where they are now. Depending on where you shop, you can get in between minus 166 and minus 174. I got them. I bet them on the minus one line. I got minus 110. I got minus 170 on the money line, plus 145 on the puck line. Johnny Quick looking very good. 5-2-2, 2.81 goals against average, 903 save percentage, 2 shutouts. When was the last time you heard somebody say Johnny Quick looking very good? Kaapo Kähkönen also looking very good. And thank God, with Talbot going down, Stalock going down, the fact that Kähkönen stepped up. Now, there's a chance that Talbot is in net tonight, but I expect Kähkönen to be in goal. This is a big game. Who would have thunk it? Big game. 7-4-0, 2.37 goals against average, 917 save percentage. The Kings special teams. I mean, where was this Drew Doughty the last couple of years? The Kings special team looks very strong. 24.6% power play. 84.5% penalty killing. The Wild power play is still at 8.8%. Watch that climb. That's just going to climb and climb and climb. The penalty killing, 86.4%. You can expect that from a team with such strong defense. You got Suter back there as the anchor. You got Dean Evison as a smart, strong coach. We'll start with the Kings. They've won 6 straight overall and 4 straight on the road to start this trip. Love fading them in that situation. They soundly defeated the Wild 4-0 home back on February 16th. That's part of their 6-game winning streak. Another I love situation. They're coming off taking 2 games in a row in St. Louis, 3-0. We were on that on the -1. We got that. That was our biggest actual -1 score of the year. We got that at plus 292. But at 4 o'clock, about 3 hours before the game, huge money came in on St. Louis. And that -1 line, had I have waited, would have been plus 343. Now, the plus 292 score isn't as good as it sounds because I did lose on the over. Then they beat St. Louis again 2-1. And I came so close to taking the Kings again. I probably would have taken them on the -1 line, and it would have been a push anyways. So there's no doubt about the fact that the Kings are playing their best hockey right now in a long, long time. They've allowed just 7 goals during the 6-game winning streak. Johnny Quick looks like the goalie that was winning Vezina and William Jennings trophies. Anze Kopitar and Dustin Brown are playing better than I've ever seen them. Well, maybe Kopitar's had some pretty spectacular runs in the past, but Dustin Brown's playing better than I've ever seen him. But those wins against St. Louis were not nearly as good as they looked. St. Louis is badly beaten up by injuries. I mean, we put out a video before that first game, a cut from this show, just about how now is the time to fade the St. Louis Blues. They're missing their best defenseman in Colton Parayko, a solid member of the D-Corps in Carl Gunnarsson, who's out for the year. They're missing a very important offensive piece in Jaden Schwartz, as well as Ivan Barbashev, Robert Thomas, and Tyler Bozak from the active forward group. And forget about Tarasenko, who has been inactive all year, but from the active forward group. This is the perfect storm for me to fade the Kings. Do you want to get in the way of a team that's won 6 straight? No. So maybe it's not the perfect storm. But the fact that they beat the Wild 4-0 in this streak, the fact that they just won 2 games against a Blues team that was completely undermanned and is not as good as it looked, makes me want to bet against them, and I will, and I have. I've been much more impressed with the Wild's 4-game winning streak. They've been dominating their opponents. Wednesday's 6-2 win at Colorado possibly is the season's most impressive win by any team. Since losing 4-0 to LA, they've outscored their opponents 20-6. Now, that 4-0 loss at LA was Matt Zuccarello's first game back. And when he was traded at the trade deadline last year, he got hurt immediately. And I can't remember exactly, but I believe he played like 3 games. And you could tell that he was really running hot, and he was hurt that the Rangers didn't want him, and then he's been dealing with all these injuries. He has 9 points in 5 games. They were shut out against LA, so he has 9 points in 4 games. I spoke at length last show about Kirill Kaprizov, and for good reason. He's absolutely electric. He now has 15 points in 16 games, and he looks so good besides Zuccarello. So they were planning on using Marcus Johansson between them. He's hurt, so they put Ryan Hartman, but between them, Ryan Hartman looks like a stud between these two snipers. This team was devoid of offense, and Kaprizov, you can have a sniper, but he needs help, and Zuccarello is that help. And this is their second line. We spoke about that first line with Eriksson Ek. You got Greenway, and you got Fiala. It's a nice team right now. They've always had a strong defense. Now their offense is on point. Minnesota Wild -1. That's giving me a -110 line.